play. Question long.
Spanish Terrier was he got through that one. I think he's going to struggle to get through the one against Tursunov. But we're turning our attention to Djokovic and Goffin playing just the fourth point of the first set. And that fourth point goes the way of a man who's been a runner-up here on 4 occasions. And if he can go one better this week, will become the first man in the history of the game to win all 9 Masters 1000 events. And Mark Petchey, how great an achievement would that be?
I mean, it would actually be an incredible achievement. I mean, I think, to be fair, I mean, it's brutal that he's been to the final 4 times and not won this particular title. But again, I mean, listen, he's heading directly to the Hall of Fame. He's not having a pass go on his way. He's there, bang, and you know, that would just be another little, well, I say little, that would be another massive tick in the CV box if he was able to claim all 9 of those. That's some achievement, especially in this era with arguably the greatest clay courter that's ever lived, to have won three of the Masters on clay as well. That is absolutely sensational.
Yeah, of course, he did the really hard part earlier this year by beating Nadal in the final in Monte Carlo. So he's on the verge of history. We'll get Mark's thoughts on Del Potro's performance a little later, but it's live all the way at the moment with Murray to come later, and I'm sure the crowd will build up here pretty soon when they realise that Djokovic is underway. Let's join Peter Fleming and Barry Mills.
Thanks, Marcus. A good beginning from Djokovic on his serve, as it was yesterday when he played Juan Monaco. And things didn't go quite according to plan in the latter part of that first set. However, it was a straight sets win ultimately for him. A long battle against Vasek Pospisil, 4 match points saved, having previously come through a quick first rounder against the American qualifier Mackenzie McDonald. But one previous encounter with the world #1 earlier this year at Roland Garros. He certainly showed up in that match, albeit losing in straight sets. 30-15. Djokovic talking after yesterday's match with Monaco, saying, well, it's going to take me a little bit of time to adjust to the new conditions, different court to Montreal. So he sort of expected how things turned out.
Well, Goffin there hit a great second serve. It was well out, or rather took Djokovic well out of court, but didn't capitalize on it. Really didn't do much of anything afterward, and in the end, paid the price. I mean, you can't expect that to out-rally Djokovic time and again, can he?
40-13.
Well, again, it is a lengthy exchange, and again, it's a Djokovic point one.
Advantage Goffin.
Bring up the advantage. That serve, look at the shape on that ball. Didn't have the best of starts to this year after his big breakthrough last year when he made the 4th round of the French and the 3rd round of Wimbledon. Since then, all his slams, in fact, have ended in first round losses. Tough draws. He's had the likes of Burdick, Verdasco, Djokovic and Tsonga. They've been the first round opponents for him, but also first round losses in 13 events this season. Opponents getting more used to what he brings to the court. I'm trying to follow up that initial headline-making run at Roland Garros and at the All England Club. But he's undoubtedly a talent. And good length again from Djokovic. So good at playing well within the margins, not going for too much, but just being absolutely rock solid and seeing how long opponents can last against that in the early stages.
Advantage Goffin.
Perhaps an opportunity there for the Belgian to have come forward when he changed direction, went into the backhand wing, but remaining behind the baseline and still coming up with the point. But important to get this first game at least and get into the match.
Game Goffin.
The game he does win. Goffin,
1 game off.
a qualifier as well, coming into the draw. 2 wins in the qualifying event, including one over Robbie Ginepri prior to getting into the main draw. But I mentioned that guy Mackenzie McDonald, and I'm informed, I didn't know this, but he apparently is only 16 years of age, Peter, came in unranked and got into qualifying, and it's happened for a long time. In fact, 1992, Magnus Norman.
And he's going on to play college tennis in September. And where is he going to play? The only place to play, UCLA in Los Angeles.
Have you had the chance to see him play?
No, I haven't yet.
UCLA, a strong tennis program, as it was in your day. I mean, it's one of the top. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, they lost a heartbreaker this year. In fact, they had match point to win the finals. And remember what happened to Djokovic in Paris against Nadal, where his foot touched the net? Same thing happened to the UCLA player, and they went on to lose in the finals. It was heartbreaking.
Oh no! On match point that happened.
Yeah. You know, match point in the 7th match, so it was 3 matches apiece. And the UCLA player, a French guy, Adrien Pouget, had match point and touched the net with his foot. Ouch! And he put the ball away.
It shows the aerial route. Might have ripped that one past, but it's Djokovic who gets another hold. They're on service, 2-1. Strengths and weaknesses for this guy, Peter?
Well, just looking at him off the face of it, you know, his serve is clearly not his strongest point. Which then makes everything else that much more difficult. You don't win cheap points, and you have to work very hard. And against a guy like Djokovic, you know, you've got to work hard, even if you're a fantastic attacker.
In trouble now. Djokovic. 112-mile-an-hour first serve. And Djokovic just sent it back with interest to take the first break of this contest. The winner of this to face the winner of Milos Raonic, John Isner battle to come later.
I think there'll be a lot of extended rallies in that match.
Tough year, as I mentioned, and just the 10 victories for him so far this season. And again, clean hitting, good timing from Djokovic. Really good depth as well.
Yeah, and at some point Goffin needs to step on the pedal just a little more. Even if that means taking greater risks.
Without concern, Djokovic taking that fifth game, a 4-1 lead here in the opening set. Juan Martín del Potro. Back in May when they met in Paris, Goffin managed to break Djokovic on one occasion, but he faced 11 break points himself. Just a couple that he got against the serve. It's got to be that close to the line, hasn't it? Good serve there, and a good follow-up. Is he going to challenge? No.
He is.
That's it. Third job. And took the weight off that ball beautifully just to drop it back in play. 14-30.
Nicely played, just feathered it over the net. No need to get his feet in position, just be in balance.
I wonder if he might change a racket soon. He seems to be struggling to judge the tension. This ball flies. Didn't do enough with that drop volley, did he, Djokovic?
Yeah, that was an incredible attempt from Djokovic. I mean, Goffin almost volleyed this ball.
He certainly got wheels, the Belgian, but he didn't need to come right the way in. That was at the service line when he met it. Just saw it yesterday. There were times when Djokovic's backhand wasn't where it normally is. One or two have again gone awry, but still, there's a feeling about this. He's pretty comfortable, isn't he?
Sure appears it.
His 51st match of the year. Succession of losses in the last few events. Hasn't won since a title since Monte Carlo.
It just shows how dominant Djokovic has been that we can say that and say, isn't that a shock?
He's come up against some great players by and large in those matches, but anything you put your finger on, point to that might be an issue for him at the moment, or just
no, he looks good. Well, he won't go for that slice serve up the middle too often on second serve. That's why. Dusan Bemic.
The conditions here still very benign compared to how they tend to be at this time of year. It's around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity only at 50%. Finally finds a two-hander to take Goffin out too wide. Djokovic 5-2. Julien Benneteau will be following his progress against the Frenchman once they go on court on the grandstand.
Love 15. Net 6.
And of course, by watching Djokovic last night in his win over Juan Monaco, you can say, well, yeah, he didn't play his best. He was okay. But he is so impressive, I should say, to watch move around the court. I mean, there has never been a player in the history of the game, I don't think, who moves as aggressively and fluidly and in such a balanced way as Djokovic on a hard court. The way at one point, he slid out, full stretch on the forehand and rocketed a forehand back, and 3 shots later did the exact same thing on his backhand. It's exhilarating to watch Djokovic move around the court. Of course, he hasn't really been asked to do that yet this afternoon. Goffin is playing a lot of slices and a lot of soft balls and not really pushing the pedal down.
And now facing 2 set points. Sometimes you look at him and just in disbelief almost at the way what he can make his body do in terms of movement around the court. Incredible elasticity in his ankle joints. for making the right moves through this first set so far. Comfortably taken 6-2.
That's really the challenge for Goffin because, as I say, I mean, Novak's got so much time on the ball.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a procession. You never know. Back up to the box and Peter and Barry.
So the top seed continuing on his merry way. At the moment, as you say, not a lot coming from the other side. Goffin only once before this year getting as far as the third round in an event. That was in the Masters in Miami. Beat Robin Haase, beat Philip Kohlschreiber, and then lost out to Nicolas Almagro.
Yeah, but where was it? Goffin losing to Jarko Niemann in Love and Love. That was in Rotterdam back in February, I guess. Indoors. That's a rough one. That's got to shake your confidence.
Djokovic. Just ticking boxes today, isn't he? Putting his play in the right place for the most part. Unchallenged on his own serve. Yes, 94th week and counting in total at the top of the rankings, and not far short now of Rafa's total. Just over 100 weeks that Rafa was there. Of course, Rafa threatening to come back to the top of the rankings with his great year. No points to defend between now and the end of the season for him.
Yeah, if Rafa can go deep at the Open, let's say, then yeah, he's going to be in a great position.
Peter, obviously the usual suspects in the top four, gathering a pace to get themselves in the best shape ready for the US Open. Could you see someone like a Janovic, though, coming through to towards the very end of the tournament as he did at Wimbledon?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but a guy like Janovic, of course he could come through. It just requires someone to get hot, as he was so dazzlingly at Wimbledon.
Mr. Goffin challenging a ball on right base.
Chair umpire's call. Looked out from here as well.
Very good eyesight there.
15-30.
So I've got to visit the opticians tomorrow. So I think that one clearly was out, obviously. When they're a bit closer, it's a bit difficult to judge these days. Strain etched across his face. It has really been since the start here. opportunity.
30-40.
Fine return, setting himself up.
Yeah, very rarely will we see Djokovic miss a ball like that. That's sitting there, doesn't have to move for it.
Game. Djokovic.
But it's so one-sided, it hasn't really grabbed the imagination of the crowd here, but I think they might have a little more excitement in the match that will follow. Federer against Haas, Peter. That excite anybody.
Exactly right. And the way Tommy Haas has been playing, especially over his first 2 matches here, we have to think that that could be a fantastic contest, because Haas has been brilliant.
15-love.
When you consider that Roger Federer probably not riding high in terms of confidence, could be an upset.
One back out of the far reaches from David Goffin. He's got to go for some more like that, because for the most part he's been made to look a little clueless and clawless here. Had a look, could have done it.
14.
But a whole lot with that volley, other than feeding the Djokovic forehand. And putting it on the money for another game. On he goes, and just 3 games away maybe from the quarterfinals once again in Cincinnati. Juan Martín Del Potro and Dmitry Tursunov, the winners already through to face one another tomorrow in the quarters. Milos Raonic and John Isner are underway. Isner winning the first game on serve in that one.
15-love.
Shooter up the line. Left behind again.
15-all.
This is a sweet matchup for Djokovic. He's just loving every minute of it. Oh, it's a good workout. Little exercise, little grooving of my shots. But in the end, no danger.
Laps that up as well. He's got all the plays. And Goffin
15-13.
just looking and wondering, oh, what can I do to get any points off this guy at the moment? It's like he's been summoned to the headmaster's study and been given a right old dressing down.
As to Goffin, you haven't been practicing enough.
Game Djokovic.
Well, it's all rather sad to see from his perspective, isn't it, for David Goffin? I mean, I think back to last year, Peter, when he burst through at Roland Garros and got to the fourth round. He was playing with such joy, such confidence. You look at him now and he just seems a shadow of that. It's all been knocked out of him.
Yeah, and that happens when you lose a lot of matches. I mean, Goffin this year
15 love.
lost an inordinate number of first-round matches. 13, I think it is. You know, out of 20 total tournaments. Well, yeah, out of 20 total tournaments.
13 love.
Well, that certainly made its match with the racket. My goodness, what a shot. With increasing confidence here. Dismiss him. One back. You can perhaps learn something from the other side of the net.
14-15.
Keep on moving in behind that to his chair. That's another one gone away rather too rapidly. Djokovic almost there. It'll be about the same time that he defeats Goffin today. Serving to stay in the match, the Belgian. And he just stood back. He was a spectator. He didn't close it in. His own drop shot.
Law 15.
Beautiful touch.
Net for service. Fifteen all.
Beaten for pace.
15-13.
Close to David Goffin. This is obviously difficult to watch. You wonder how he's going to get out of this malaise, because it's been a season long, really. Double match point for Djokovic. And through he goes to the quarterfinals once again in Cincinnati.
6-2.
Desperate for David Goffin. Djokovic way too good for him today. Easily through to the last 8.
Yeah, whoa, a day that David Goffin will want to forget very